Hello, my name is Randy Bunney. I'm a prospect development consultant here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And today we're going to talk about something that's really of concern to a lot of people in this economic times. How can we be more efficient, reduce costs, and deliver value to our donors? And one of the ways that we're going to look at today is what's called process mapping. And it's a way of analyzing key processes in your business operations. In the case of nonprofits, for instance, we're going to talk about an example today of how can you actually optimize and discover ways to improve the process of acknowledging gifts from your supporters, whether they be major gifts or members, however you want to define it. So the idea is essentially to create efficiencies on the operational side, and the value of that, of course, is reduce costs and improve the turnaround time. The really neat thing about process mapping and improving processes is that in this case of donor acknowledgement, you can actually deliver value to the donor. So you increase efficiency on the operations side and you deliver value to the donor. That's really part of what really excites me about process mapping. And I know process mapping, probably your eyes glaze over, but it can be exciting because once you actually go through your operations, your key operations, you can one by one optimize your operations really throughout all of your organization. So the key in process mapping is to take a large project and break it down into manageable parts. And we're going to see how we do that with gift processing. And one of the ways I like to think about gift processing is just be the gift. So if you were that gift, imagining coming into the organization of your choice, and what happens once that gift enters the operations or the system of gift processing in that organization. So in the case of process mapping, there are two key principles that are really important. One is the discovery process. So you're going to really discover how to optimize, how to improve your processes. And to do that, you really have to make it a group activity. Now, any one of us could go in and examine gift processing, and we'll talk about this map here. Do it on your own, and you certainly could find ways to improve the process. But the magic starts to happen when you get groups of people in the room. And you hear nowadays about crowdsourcing, the idea of multiple people bringing in ideas to create a solution to a problem. Well, this is a mini version of crowdsourcing. We're going to crowdsource with sticky notes, essentially. But the idea is to get your key people that are involved with the process, get them in the room, and then you as the business analyst or as the leader in the nonprofit, you facilitate that discovery process. And the other key part about process mapping, the discovery process, is to really, in any key operation, to identify the key steps in that process. So let's look at gift processing. Certainly where it comes into the organization, that's the first contact, where you receive the gifts. So then you could, under that key element in the process, identify the different steps in that process. So in the process mapping, you identify all those key steps. We have data entry, for example, scanning, and perhaps you're scanning gifts. Maybe there's barcode involved with your direct mail. Acknowledgement, providing a letter to the donor. That's one of the key areas that you want to look at as far as to be able to improve. And then providing that receipt. So what you do is then just go into that room with your colleagues and you put sticky notes up on the board, and then you ask people to write down those key steps, for instance, under what happens when you receive the gift. Well, the gift can come in by the web, for example, so that's one entry point. The gift can come in by mail, that's another entry point. And then what are the key steps that happen after that?